We know Marvel Studios can use all the characters that were previously owned by Fox and associated with the X-Men, the Mutants, and the Fantastic Four. Now, of course, before we get the core characters, they seem to be focusing more on using some of the more obscure ones in other films. Now, let's talk about taking a bite out of Thor, because it looks like we're going to be getting cosmic sharks. So when it comes to using all of these more obscure properties, I think using them pretty much everywhere when it comes to the MCU is okay, as long as they're, not like these big core characters that you're just tossing where they don't belong. Like, you can't start the X-Men off in space, for example. That doesn't make sense. None of that would make sense. Now, taking other characters that are associated with their first appearances or connections to these characters makes a lot more sense. So here we're going to talk about these space sharks, which first appeared in the X-Men run. And honestly, it's interesting that they want to go this route, but it's Taika Waititi, so it kind of makes sense that there's going to be sharks floating through space. And yeah, it kind of, makes sense that he wants to use it, considering it's an insane concept and the MCU can pull it off. And if you guys are wondering how it'll look actually look pretty good. Recently, Star Trek did something like this, and it actually really worked, and it looked really cool using, I think it was like squids or something. I'm blanking on what it was. I remember it was an actual organic thing, so it doesn't matter. Anyways, so getting back to this, this concept was actually used recently in quotation marks, in Jason Aaron's Thor, and Thor ended up fighting one of these. So again, I like that they're kind of using some of these elements from Jason Aaron's work, and it's him that confirmed that they will be in there, because he did the Jane Foster run, which obviously they're going to be using elements of that, and then he also did the actual Thor Odinson run. So again, it looks like they're pulling a lot from these comics, and it kind of tells you that some of these things that were over at Fox are already being integrated way faster than most people thought. So who knows what other surprises might be in here, but hey, sharks in space. Sign me up.